Back to you.
Right. Well, William Lajeunesse, thank you for following the story. We appreciate it. Let's bring in Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton. He's a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee. And Senator, it's just it's unfathomable almost, except for it is actually very real. It was a horrible attack. Several Americans have been murdered. Do you see this as an individual incident, or is this a national security concern now just south of our border?
No, Dana, this is not an individual incident. This is the depraved massacre of 3 women and 6 children, including infants, as you mentioned, wounding many other children. Cartel violence in Mexico has reached an all-time high. Over the last year, murders have surged under President López Obrador's policy of hugs, not bullets. I mean, that may be nice for a children's fairy tale, but in the real world, when the bad guys and cartels have 50 caliber machine guns, the only answer is more bullets and bigger bullets. And if Mexico can't protect American citizens in Mexico, then we may have to take matters into our own hands.
And how might we do that? Like I was talking yesterday about the idea of designating the cartels as a terrorist organization. Would that make a difference?
Well, one thing we could do, Dana, is increase the penalties and sanctions that transnational criminal organizations already face. Most of the cartels are designated as such organizations. But look, our special operations forces were able to take down al-Baghdadi in Syria a couple weeks ago. They did it to Osama bin Laden in Pakistan 8 years ago. I have every confidence that if the president directed them to do so, that they could impose a world of hurt on these cartels a few dozen miles away from the American border. And I can tell you that opinion inside of Congress is running extremely aggressive towards the cartels, given this latest act of depraved violence.
All right, Senator, we appreciate that. I want to ask you about one other thing. The impeachment hearings are going to start next Wednesday. Of course, that's in the House. I wonder about your just level of frustration of not being able to really get anything else done in Congress while this continues. It looks like it's going to dominate the news for days to come.
It's very disappointing for the American people, Dana. Just last week, Democrats in Congress blocked the defense spending bill that will spend money for the very troops that were serving in Syria to take down al-Baghdadi, or that continue to serve around the world. They promised us that they could walk and chew gum when they started down the path of impeaching the president yet again. That's proven not to be the case, though. So the people's business is not getting done right now.
Do you think that the Senate should, that maybe one of the committees, be it Judiciary or Foreign Relations on the Senate side, should start its own investigation and perhaps call Hunter Biden to come and testify?
Dan, I don't know if that's necessary for a committee to do so, but if the House proceeds with articles of impeachment against the president, a Senate trial is open to witnesses. And I could imagine that many Republican senators would like to hear exactly what Hunter Biden was being paid $50,000 a month to do for a Ukrainian oligarch. Or we might like to hear from Joe Biden on exactly what he did as the Obama administration's point person for Ukraine when he directed the firing of the prosecutor who was investigating the oligarch that was paying Hunter Biden. Those are very valid questions the American people would like to have answers to.
All right, Senator Tom Cotton, let's stay in touch, especially on the Mexico issue. We'd love to have you back and talk about it. Thank you.
Thanks, Dana.